Lily stared at her computer screen, feeling the tension building up inside her. The quarterly report was due in 2 days, and she knew she had a lot of work to do. She sighed and glanced around the office, wondering if anyone else was feeling as stressed as she was. That's when she noticed him, Danny, the new guy in the office, who had only been hired a few weeks ago. He was sitting at his desk, typing away on his computer with a look of intense concentration on his face. Lily couldn't deny that he was cute, with his tousled brown hair and piercing blue eyes. But she had also heard that he was arrogant and had a reputation for being difficult to work with. As if on cue, Danny looked up from his computer and caught Lily staring at him. He raised an eyebrow in amusement before turning back to his work. Lily felt her cheeks heat up and quickly looked away, feeling embarrassed at being caught. The next day, Lily found herself seated across from Danny in a meeting with their boss, Mr. Thompson. The tension in the room was palpable as they discussed their progress on the report. Danny seemed to be full of ideas and suggestions, but Lily found herself disagreeing with him at every turn. "You can't possibly think that's a good idea," she said, unable to keep the frustration out of her voice. Danny raised an eyebrow and leaned back in his chair. "And who are you to question my ideas, Miss Know-it-all?" Lily felt her jaw clench in anger. "I just think we should stick to the original plan," she replied, trying to keep her tone civil. Mr. Thompson cleared his throat, sensing the tension between his two employees. "Let's try to find a compromise, shall we?" he suggested, hoping to diffuse the situation. But Lily and Danny were both too stubborn to back down. The meeting ended without any resolution, and Lily couldn't help but feel even more frustrated with her new colleague. As the days went by, Lily found herself at odds with Danny more and more often. They disagreed on almost everything, from the best way to format a spreadsheet to the ideal temperature for the office thermostat. Lily couldn't understand why Danny seemed to enjoy getting a rise out of her, always pushing her buttons and never backing down from a challenge. But despite their constant bickering, Lily couldn't deny that there was also a spark between them. She found herself looking forward to their heated debates, feeling a rush of adrenaline every time she proved Danny wrong. And she couldn't deny that there was something undeniably attractive about his confidence and intelligence. One day, as they worked late on the report, Lily found herself alone in the office with Danny. They were both tired and tense, the stress of the deadline weighing heavily on their shoulders. But as they sat side by side at their desks, Lily couldn't help but feel a sense of camaraderie between them. "I never thought I would say this, but you're not so bad to work with," she admitted, surprising herself. Danny looked up from his computer, a small smile tugging at the corners of his lips. "I could say the same about you, Lily," he replied, his voice soft and sincere. Lily felt her heart flutter at the sound of her name on his lips. She looked into his eyes and saw something vulnerable and real beneath his cocky facade. In that moment, she realized that maybe there was more to Danny than than what meets the eye. As they worked together into the night, Lily and Danny found themselves opening up to each other in a way they never had before. They shared stories from their past, their hopes for the future, their fears and insecurities. Lily was surprised to discover that Danny had a kind heart beneath his tough exterior, and Danny was amazed to find that Lily was not just a know it all, but also a compassionate and caring person. By the time they finally finished the report and submitted it to Mr. Thompson, Lily and Danny had formed a deep bond that neither of them could ignore. They had found common ground in their shared love for their work and their determination to succeed, and they had come to appreciate each other's strengths and weaknesses in a way that no one else in the office could. On the day of the big presentation to the company's board of directors, Lily and Danny stood side by side, feeling nervous but also excited to show off their hard work. As they made their way through the slides and answered questions with ease, Lily couldn't help but admire the way Danny's mind worked, his quick wit and sharp intelligence shining through. When the presentation was over and the board members applauded their efforts, Lily and Danny exchanged a triumphant smile. They had done it together. As they left the conference room and made their way back to their desks, Lily felt an urge of emotions that she couldn't ignore. She turned to Danny and took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. Danny, I I just wanted to say thank you, she began, her voice shaky but sincere, for everything, for working with me, for pushing me to be better, for being you. Danny looked her at with a softness in his eyes that made Lily's heart skip a beat. He reached out and gently took her hand, his touch sending a jolt of electricity through her veins. No, Lily, he said, his voice filled with emotion. Thank you for showing me that sometimes the person you least expect can turn out to be the one you needed the most. And in that moment, as they stood there holding hands in the empty office, Lily and Danny both knew that they had found something special in each other. Despite their rocky start and their constant clashes, they had discovered a love that was unexpected as it was undeniable. From that day on, Lily and Danny became more than just office colleagues. They became partners in work and in life, supporting each other through every challenge and celebrating every success together. And as they walked hand in hand into the future, they knew that their love story was just beginning.